Alright guys and gals, what's going on? My name's Houston Kilby and welcome to the Houston Kilby YouTube channel. We got the Full Metal Goat back here with us. In today's episode, we've got to work on the trailer that hauls that thing to the racetrack. We had a major catastrophe the other day, and that's what I'm holding my hands right here. This is the jack for my trailer, and why is it in my hand instead of mounted to the trailer? So let's get on into it here. Alrighty guys, so this is the jack to my trailer. Alright, so I went ahead and cut this thing out. I apologize. The cut video got lost and I don't know what happened to it. So all you have to do, take a cut-off wheel. Mine is the Welding kind. Unfortunately, I wish this one had the bolt in, but it was not. So I marked out what the dimensions was of my new jack that I'm gonna be putting in, okay? So I just cut this thing out with a cut-off wheel, and don't forget on the bottom side, these things are welded in too, so I had to cut this deal out down here on the bottom. So long story short, this jack right here stripped out on the inside and the bearings got messed up. This one here in particular didn't have any grease fittings in it, so my guess is just over the years the grease came out of it and it just ate itself up. I kept trying to spray like penetrating oil and trying to put oil down in it and stuff right down in through here, but it wasn't good enough, and this thing finally locked up and just messed up on me. So today, fixing this issue. Alrighty guys, this is the Haulmaster 10,000. It's a 10,000 pound trailer jack from Harbor Freight. So let's get on into it, how we're gonna put this deal in here. Okay. Alrighty guys, so we just cut the top half out. You guys can see it right there. Mine again was the Welding kind, and this whole deal here is stripped out. Bearings are broke, and it's in pretty rough shape. So what we're going to do is we're replacing this deal with a Haulmaster 10,000 pound jack. It's a really big one and a big beefy handle on it. It's just like what you would see on like a big gooseneck trailer. The reason we're going with this big of one is because I want one that lifts this trailer up with ease, and I don't like the small handles that's over here because of this box. It's got a big crank handle on it. It gets it out here on the side. I just wanted a jack that literally was in beast mode. Simple as that. So let's get this deal out of here. We've got some grinding to do, a little bit more fitting before that'll go in there, and let's get after it here. All right guys, so we just got done cutting this out. So this is where our old jack used to be, and we got it cut out, and we had to notch this right in here real quick, which I'm fine with. It's not really messing with the strength of this, because our strength is back here in this piece and on top here, and where we're filling this back in, we're welding all this in back together. So it's going to be really strong, even stronger than what it was before, because now this big square piece is going to be connecting this back into this piece here. So it's going to be a pretty strong stout piece here. So now we need to stab this in. Okay, now we need to get it set at the right rod height. Okay, and then we need to mark this thing where all we got to grind the paint off so we can put our good welds on there. So hammer down, guys. All right guys, I end up having to dig a hole out down here to be able to get this thing to swoop up and get up in there. My gosh, what a mess. But anyways, we're about to set this thing at the right height that this jack needs to be set at, and then we can hammer down here. All right guys, we're in our daggum tent over here. We'll do some welding outside, and it's trying to sprinkle on me every now and then, but we got all the old junk cut out, laid out over there, and it was in pretty bad shape. But we got this piece tacked in there now, got it leveled out, and how I leveled it was I leveled it with the frame on the trailer there. So we've got it going up and straight up and down with the frame and level with the frame. So yeah, man, it seems like it's going to work pretty good. Let you guys see where the handle clears at over here. See how it gets it out to here, and I can easily do all this deal. But I'm excited about that. Let's get it welded up. If the handle gets in the way of the box, we're just going to extend the handle on out to here. But I'm liking this thing. I can't wait to test it out here in just in a minute.
Is this your version of being in the doghouse?
You like my tent out here? You got $1? Got any change? So anyways, guys, how y'all like my crib over here right now? So Mother Nature is not working with us today, but we're gonna keep on hammering down because I don't have much time off, and when you do have time off, you gotta do whatever you gotta do. So we built ourselves a little special tent here. We're doing pretty good on time now. I need to final weld this deal. Went to a little bit of plate in it. We had, when we cut out that old one, there was a section there I had to cut more material out than I wanted to, but we can get 3 of the 4 welds done right now. It's on the top side, and then we'll have to patch in that hole. But it's looking good. It's gonna be strong. And Hannah, come over here and let's show them the handle here and stuff. So this is my thinking of why we wanted to go with this. See how this handle gets it out past this box, and we can always extend this thing out here and crank on even more. But the nice thing about this is how fast this thing will jack up now. But check this out down there. Look how quick it is.
Yeah.
That's moving compared to what we've been used to. So I know this is quite a bit of work for this right here, but it's well worth it.
It was quite a bit of work with the other one.
Yeah, the other one was trying to kill me. I think our neighbors felt like there was a pretty bad situation going on outside over here. There's some grunting going on, wasn't there, Hannah?
Oh yeah.
and some special verbiage going on too. But anyways, I'm gonna put it on time lapse here, let you guys see us weld this up. I think it's gonna have some pretty nice welds, and we're gonna go from there. So let's get after it. That's the whole Master 10,000, I tell you what.
I haven't even finished breakfast and that boy ain't right.
All right, guys, it's time to get after it. Just stuck out a little wire there. We're going to use some nozzle dip. If you guys have never used that stuff before, I suggest it. Put a little bit on there. So what this does is, if you're using a MIG welder a bunch, when you're, I know it looks all nasty and stuff right now, but it's actually a good thing, because if you take all that grease out, where I've been using this stuff, it keeps from killing your nozzles so quickly. If you run this dry right here, what happens is it'll eventually mess up your tip or mess up your nozzle, and then you gotta switch them out. Yeah, I keep spare parts of this stuff in my rig and stuff, but I found you use that dip more, and you don't have to use so many consumables. So that's a nice thing right there, and it don't affect your weld. So let's get after it. Not bad. All right, hang on, zoom on in that weld there. We're running 110 volts right now is what we're doing, and that ain't too shabby right there. The welder I have is a Vulcan MIG Max 215. So this welder will run off of 220 or 110, okay? And all you have to do to switch it out is change the plug in, and it just plugs in, plugs out. And that's a Harbor Freight welder, and there's some pretty slick welds right there. So we're gonna finish our welds up and get after it. All right, guys and gals, it is time to hammer down, put some MIG wire down this deal, and we're gonna get after it here. I'm gonna do some pulling action here on my welds, and we're gonna do even some little bit of up close here and get after it. and try to do a little bit of pushing right there. And I'm not as good as a pusher when it comes to the welding as I am on doing my pulls there. And if y'all are into welding, you'll know what I mean. But anyways, guys, we got after it here. Let's check it out. All right, guys, there we go. It's welded in on the top and it's welded in on the bottom. And I'm pretty happy with our welds on there. They look really good, nice and clean. And I didn't have any porosity or any nasty stuff popping in and cracking and all that. It done pretty good. Old welder done a good job. I mean, it really did. Scarlett, hush!
On y'all people better than a month now, grab about y'all every time that dang old dog crossed the start yapping at y'all 24 hours a day, and nobody answered. You called, how you supposed to come out to do anything about that dog if you're just gonna get a dang old computer ain't gonna come over here and just shut that dang old dog up.
All right, so our next thing we're gonna do while we're already over here and stuff, I've been wanting to clean this tongue up for a while now. We're going to have to spray paint where we weld this stuff up anyways. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of spray paint the rest of this real quick just to clean it up so it don't look so dang bad. And I think over time, I'd really like to clean this trailer up because it's a pretty solid race trailer. But it cosmetically, it just kind of looks rough where it's so faded. So you guys comment down below, should we reskin it and put new sheet metal on it? If I do, I'm definitely thinking white. All right, guys, so reason I'm thinking white, our bus is white, and I'm not a fan of red trailers. Only reason we even got this thing is because we got a heck of a deal on it. I mean, a heck of a deal. And I didn't want to pass it up, and it was well worth it. But I'm just not a red trailer type of person. I like colors like black and red together. I like white and red, but not just one big solid red. So I'm thinking white trailer or maybe silver trailer or something like that. I think I can get those painted sheet metal panels that's already white pretty cheap. And so I'm thinking maybe this summer we either reskin it or we try to paint it ourselves. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going to be the cheapest route yet, but you guys comment down below what you think. Should we paint it or should we reskin it? I don't know which one's going to be cheaper, quicker, or more effective. You guys let me know down below. Alrighty, guys and gals, it is time to slap a little bit of spit shine on this deal. We're going to get out the Rust-Oleum spray paint, see what this deal looks like. Like I said, I'm not going to get too detailed with it. I'm using a piece of cardboard as like a tape off area to keep it from getting all over my diamond plate. But guys, we're just going to clean it up a little bit, see what it looks like. And I tell you what, $8 can of paint, not looking too shabby here. It's looking pretty good. It brought a little bit of life back to this old girl. And what I'll do is I'll give you guys a little close up. All right, guys, not bad. Helped it out a little bit of spit shine there. A little bit of spit shine, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we'll let that dry, clean up all of our tools, and on to the next job. That actually looks not bad. I mean, seriously. All right then. We'll give it a, $8 can of paint there and see what happens there. We didn't metal prep anything. Literally just got some Rust-Oleum spray paint and sprayed it. It's a trailer. Just clean it up a little bit so it ain't so rusted. But yeah, guys, it's looking good. On to the next thing. All right, scoot that up a little bit more for me.
All right, come on.
Shows. How y'all like this ghetto maneuvering around? You got a gravel driveway, this is a problem.
Yeah.
All right, babe, go ahead and get that board and move it over there on the other side. All right, guys, I don't know about y'all, but every time I move one of these compressed air bottles around, I start having visions of those safety videos. That's why I had to throw it in there. So we're going to get this bottle back in there, and then we got some things to talk about, guys. All right, guys and gals, well, that just wrapped up that job right there of putting a new jack on our trailer. This is a 30-foot trailer. It's a steel frame construction, aluminum box, but it is a steel frame. And I'm very happy with the results. I definitely think that Harbor Freight jack is built pretty tough. Just as a heads up, I didn't show it in there, but how I took this part and separated it from that pad down there at the bottom. If you take this cover off right here, you can take these gears apart. There's just pins in there, that holds all that together. You pull those pins out, this shaft comes out, and then you can slide all that stuff out of there, and that's how I done that. But it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Hopefully it was helpful to y'all if y'all run into a problem like that or was curious about those Hall Master jacks. I'm happy with it. It lifts this trailer with ease. So anyways, guys, like, share, subscribe, comment down below is a huge help for us. We are now over 20,000 subscribers. We are trying to get to 30. You guys be sure to help us with that. We got a lot of episodes coming y'all's way here shortly. We got things on my black car, the Tempest. We are getting the trailer and the bus prepped for our next race in June, probably looking around June 13th, that weekend right there. So that's our next event. And we got a lot of stuff from now until the end that we're going to do content wise to be sending y'all so y'all can see it. So thank y'all so much for the support. And as always, have a good one. And as Jesse says, have a party on YouTube. And until next time, y'all have a good one.